Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder aboard the Su-22M3, which is a Soviet battle rating 11.0 rank 7 squadron activity reward plane. And it is beautiful. I love the skin, and also now you have a really easy time with it because the German teams, which you face the majority of times, currently spam desperately all the MiG-23 MFs and try to spade them. A lot of inexperienced pilots versus then a lot of people in the mindset of farming then on your team leaves you in the very interesting situation that very often you are the only one on your team with an air start and also the only one equipped with bombs. So the bases are yours and you're very good at farming the bases because you have up to 8 500 kilogram bombs which have a very high yield of 340 kilograms per bomb. First of all, 4 of them are enough to drop a single big base, as you can see in the following examples, and also they can be dropped individually. So also in tank RB, this plane, when you go through the radar and SAM, SPA, whatever, can be really devastating to the enemy team. And on top of this, you have outmost 30mm guns, which I just didn't highlight enough in this video, but trust me, they are the same ones as on the Su-22M3s, and I just wanted to highlight them because they are equipped also with obviously the air target belts, which I used here in this video. But for tank RP, you can use the armor target belts, which is a 50-50 mixture of armor piercing tracer rounds and APHE, so they have a bursting charge. Sadly, on the stat card, it's not listed how many grams of TNTs you have in them, but at 1,000 meters, you have 43 millimeters of penetration. But I'm not quite sure if this is the penetration value for the APT, and the APHE might have less. But in theory, you should have an easy time one-tapping enemies, and especially in air RB, you also can farm medium tanks, light pillboxes, etc. So that is definitely something where those guns come in handy, and they are so much better than, for me personally, the 23 millimeters that you get on a lot of other planes, for example the MiG-23. So that was a bad missile. And here is another part. It reminds me a bit about the American, what was the name, A7D, which had great guns, 20mm Gatling, 2 missiles and lots of bombs. And so this plane gets a little bit the vibes. I made throughout the entire video one big mistake. I used 30 minutes of fuel, and I always forgot to get it down to 20 minutes. So that was my mistake. So your plane would be with 20 minutes a bit more maneuverable, but the afterburner is 30, so I wouldn't go to min fuel. That's what I tried to say. Another aspect of the Su-22M3 is that you can also directly use it as a fighter. As I said, you have an air start regardless of your loadout, and so you also can equip this plane with 6 R60s. By the way, you always have also 2 R60s if you use also the 8 bombs, so this is really great. But back to the 6 R60s. There are not the all aspect variants, so not like the MK variants for the German MiG-23, and that is definitely one of those aspects that they are susceptible to flares. But again, you are fighting the German teams, so they are here with the German MiG-23 that also doesn't have that many flares. And that is to your advantage, because at some point they're running out and then they cannot be that effective in dodging your R60s. So with a bit of experience, with a bit of playing around and trying to make them pre-flare while you make some dummy missile runs at them, you can drain them of flares and then just simply kill them, or use your most excellent 30 millimeters. And that is what I so like about this plane. Not that part where you rip your wings with negative Gs, so you have to be careful about this. But it's versatility, it's durability. yeah, bad example here, but you get the idea in this full gameplay. Now, without a talisman but a premium account, I have to say that you really don't earn that many civilians with this thing. But the RP gain is interesting. So without a talisman, but with a premium account, this non-premium vehicle gets in like 5 minutes with bombing 2 bases, which you get away with like 95% of all cases. You just get 5, 6, sometimes 7k RP in like 5 minutes for bombing 2 bases, maybe shooting down 1. But there is also a second troll scenario, and that is you fly in, you then bomb the 2 bases, and then fly directly into the enemy team. And then they go wild, because you are apparently an easy picking. And if you are somewhat decent with dodging missiles, or then flaring at the right moment, versus the incoming all aspect IR missiles, you can really cause chaos and eventually literally rip apart the entire enemy team in their phase of where they want to deploy themselves. So what I mean is, you fly into them and half of them will turn around trying to follow you while you go with Mach 1.1 or them on the with them on the deck, and they shoot all the missiles, they can't catch you, they waste position and energy. Then one half of their team is fighting your entire team, they get mopped up, and then the remainder of their team then gets mopped up by the one. So you just have to survive for a couple of minutes and everything's over. So that's the head-on missile that I was talking about with flaring. And yeah, it's still a heavy plane and I have 30 minutes of fuel. Again, as I mentioned, that was a mistake. And sadly I didn't get the gun kill here. But you get the idea. The thing is, it's very reliable at this, because again, you are very often the only one on your team with an air start, you're the only one with bombs, so you always get the bomb targets. And it's just, I think, for people that want to learn the basics of RRB and don't want to be a liability to their team, now is the time, while the German MiG-23 gets spammed, that you get away with this and still have high win rates. And you get a reliable RP income. Yeah, it's so much better if you get 10 kills a match, I know. But not everybody on your team can do that. Not everybody can do what you see on screen right now as well. But it's just maybe a different approach, a different idea. And so when the scenario comes and you have a long game, the durability of this plane and just simply the devastating loadout that it can have are actual big plus points that sometimes might not get highlighted enough. Again, I'm not a chat expert, but maybe then you will put it into perspective. If I can do this, so can you. And I think that's a good point of motivation. I had a lot of fun. I didn't have much time to make a video, and so if I managed to get footage in like 1 or 2 hours for what you saw, easily and reliable, and I just was cherry picking the examples, including this full gameplay, then you kind of get the idea. And here I'm not quite sure if this guy ripped himself the wing, because I didn't see a missile impact on him, and then this happened. Yeah, I got team kill. I don't know if this was on purpose. I don't know if it was an accident, whatever. Go to Reddit and find it out, probably. No, don't. To summarize this plane for me, it is reliable RP income. The Su-22M3 might be a talisman candidate if you are on the edge going from rank 5 to rank 6 and you want to learn a bit more about high tier gameplay, because you do not get punished at the moment doing this, what I said, and so this is probably a very good and nice lesson for beginners, where you can avoid a little bit the pain and profit from the pain of others. And so yeah, currently use the German MiG-23 spam to your advantage, and let me know what you think about it. As usual, please give this video a like with it, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the ways, on the battlefields, and in the skies of War Thunder.